Okay, fitness FAQ time. So if you guys have any questions about fitness, just drop it in lecture chat or raise your hand. I can invite you to the stage. Is full body 4 times a day too much? I'd say it depends where you're at in your fitness journey. If you're like a beginner, I would stick to 3 times a week or 3 times a week full body. Intermediate and advanced can probably get away with 4 times a week full body, but yeah. Wait, full body 4 times a day or a week? Because a day is out of pocket. That's crazy. Yeah. Week is fine depending on what stage you're at, to be honest. It can still be all right for beginners depending on the volume, but I'd say stick to a 3 times a week full body if you're a beginner. Recently I had COVID and I was fine. For how long should it rest? I believe there was a study for teenagers that said that viral infections can cause myocarditis if you like do intense weight training because of like anaerobic respiration. So take like as soon as the sickness is completely gone, take like a couple days. Wait, you can't hear me? Can everyone else hear me or no? Yeah, okay. That's interesting. Let's see. Okay. Wait, so how many people can't hear me? Is my mic too low or what? I'm gonna go ahead with the assumption that it's working since majority is saying it does, but are home workouts as effective as gym workouts? No, simply due to the fact that you cannot do the same amount of work as you can in the shortest amount of time. For example, you're gonna have to do like 25 push-ups to get one rep of like a 135, 225 bench. They aren't as effective, but you can make similar gains if you match the volume, intensity, and frequency. It's been 3 weeks since I sprained my back from throwing a bar down, and it still hurts, but not training has really fucked with me. What alternatives can I take while my back is recovering? Great question. Now, I had this moment in time where I fucked up my collarbone really bad due to some shitty dip technique, and I basically had to take a break from any upper body training, and it kind of fucked with my mental. So you can do any type of like actually I recommend doing something called a reverse hyperextension. It tractions the spine, it gets blood flow to the area, and also I recommend doing dead hangs just due to the fact that you're decompressing the spine. I don't know like what specific part of the back hurts, if it's your spine or if it's your erectors. If it's your erectors, you can probably go ahead and exercise. Obviously, not super intensely, and I'd recommend warming up much more before you actually go into the exercise. But uh, cardio, you can probably do uh, just anything that really doesn't hurt your back. To be honest, again, if it's your muscle, you can go ahead and exercise with lighter volume, lighter frequency, intensity. Reverse hyperextensions, dead hangs, as I said previously. But if it's still continuing on, see a doctor, bro, because I can't diagnose you from over the internet. Due to festivities, I haven't worked out much and ate a bunch of junk food this week. Going on, how do I start working out again? Should I continue with my 4 times a week split or drop it down to 3 considering I'm going back to uni? Ami, are you doing a upper lower split? In general, I recommend like if you're going back into exercise, you don't have to drop the frequency or necessarily the volume either. Actually, hold on, let me think this through. It depends how you want to go about it. If you keep your volume at the same amount and lower the intensity, you're going to be very sore. But if you keep the intensity relatively similar, not too high, and keep the volume low, like a deload week, it can kind of you won't get super sore. So I'd recommend keeping the intensity lower than it would normally be and drop the volume back. Still warm up, do all that, but take like a basically a metaphorical deload week where you don't train super intensely and just slowly work your way back into it because otherwise you can get super sore and bad times. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I'm struggling to get calories because I'm a slow eater. See, I have the same issue. I tend to not get into like even my maintenance because I actually looked at the like I took a calorie calculator thing, although they're not super accurate. I'm 17, 189 centimeters, and 80 kilo. I intensely, or I'm very active, so 6 to 7 times a week of intense exercise. And to gain weight, I needed to eat 3,500 calories. So, it's kind of tough getting into that calorie range. And I understand your struggle, but I recommend starting your eating earlier. So, if you don't eat breakfast, which I know a lot of skinny people do, start eating in the morning. Get like a couple eggs down, some toast, just to get your early calories in. I assume you're a teenager as well, since you have a fast metabolism and you're struggling to get calories. But as I was saying, struggling to get calories, uh, start, as I said, breakfast early. Eat lots of snacks. So always keep something like nuts or seeds next to you or some fruit or something. Make sure you track your calories because I know a lot of people who tend to not get their calories in. They don't track it and they think they're eating a lot of food, but they're really not. So track your calories, eat breakfast in the mornings, seeds, snacks. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. Mm, this coffee slaps. Okay. How to do back without a pull-up bar? Okay, this is a good question. Because for a while I couldn't do back exercise because I didn't have a pull-up bar or a rack or anything to hang off of. I'd recommend buying one because they're really cheap or getting gym rings. They're like 30 bucks on Amazon or something like that. But say you literally have no option to do any like purchasing of items. You can always go to a playground to get onto the monkey bars or something and do your back there, do some pull-ups, but a really great exercise is the inverted row. So basically a great way you can do it is by getting a broom handle, putting it in between two chairs, and then you can elevate your feet up to make it harder if it's too easy for you. You just pull yourself up and yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Um Honestly, inverted rows are pretty good for the back. I can say that you could probably do reverse hyperextensions as well just for the injury prevention. So you can just elevate yourself with like a chair or something and just lift your feet to the ceiling. Let's see. Most gyms don't have reverse hyper machines. I do mine on an incline bench, so you don't have to have a like an actual machine to do it. You may not be able to load it as effectively or even load it at all, but the fact that it gets blood into the area is pretty good like side effect. So just get an incline bench, put the bench a lot higher than you would normally use it for, and then think about putting your hips into the part where you would normally raise your head or put your head on. So you could have a leverage so that you can raise your legs in the air. Let's see. How do you balance fitness when you got school? I don't have too much schoolwork, but as soon as I come home, I eat and then I work out. So I don't have a problem with balancing it. But if you have something like, don't run like a push pull legs if you have school and you can't like finish your workouts because you have schoolwork every day. Try something like a upper lower Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday or something. So that it's mostly out of the way. Usually you don't have too much work on Monday, Tuesday, and then you'll have time to get throughout the week if you have a lot of homework over the weekends or weekdays, you can be able to do the uh the workouts then. And maybe even a 3 times full body. You can get away with the 2 times full body as well if you're a beginner as well. I would recommend that. Let's see. Have you ever trained while feeling like you have irregular bowel movements? That's a very interesting question. um, let's see. I mean, yeah, I guess, but not like I don't like. Is there like you want to know how you can fix it or if you should like you gonna elaborate? How long should a workout take? For me personally, it takes 1.5 hours to 2 hours each to do push pull legs. Um, see, I rest way too long and take way too long in my workout, so I end up working out for like 2 hours, 3 hours every day. But honestly, it depends. Everything depends on where you're at in your journey. If you're a beginner, it usually takes like 1 hour to 2 hours, even 1 hour to 1.5 hours. I'd say is good for a beginner, just because anything more than that, usually it's too psychologically taxing and you can't keep it up for long periods of time. But when you get to intermediate advanced, 2 to 3 hours usually is good. 2 hours is kind of like a good point at that time, because I think I just got a free program from this dude for winning like a contest or something, and he said to rest 5 minutes in between compounds. I know there's singles and doubles for the things I'm resting long periods of time for, but my point being, you have to rest a lot when you get to that stage. Oh yeah, yeah. So Oscar says you can make protein shakes with peanut butter and fruit to get your calories up. Liquid meals are very good options if you don't have like time to eat or can't get enough food down. So just blend up some oats, some peanut butter, some fruits, put some milk or alternative milk, whatever you want in there. Honey, seeds, whole shebang. Free calories. Every time I hit legs, I end up cramping them and injured, so I lose even more progress. I guess push too hard, but at the same time, I'm worried about not pushing enough for my fitness. Any tips? Okay, so I'm not 100% sure why cramping occurs, but every time I hear or I see someone get cramp, the coach or someone always says, drink water. I assume it's a problem with electrolytes, so keep your water high, make sure you're getting enough sodium, uh, eat your food. But if you're progressing on a week to week basis, if you're getting your squat to like if you start at 135 and 145, you're going to be pushing hard enough. Eventually, if you start stalling, maybe you need to add an accessory movement, but if you're getting progress on a week to week basis as a beginner, you will be fine. You're making progress, you're pushing hard enough. Honestly, I literally never get cramps. I don't know if it's like I don't know the science behind that, but I think it's just a water issue. Try Gatorade. But yeah. Let's see. What should you do to negate injuries from lifting? Honestly, the best thing to negate injuries is to never get them. So always warm up before you start working out. I don't know why people just go into the gym, decide, oh, today's a deadlift day. Let me just pull 400 off the ground. No warm up. That's how you get injured. That's some like really stupid shit you can do. Always make sure you do some dynamic warm ups. Do some like biking, pyramid up in weight off of a workout. So if you're deadlifting, don't start with 405. Start with 135, build up to like 150. Keep going, and eventually you'll get 405. You'll be completely warm. You're gonna prime the main movers of the lift, so you don't get injured. Because if you pull 405 cold, you're gonna be lucky if you don't get injured. Also, I remember someone asked, how do I work the back at home? The inverted row, and make sure that you activate your scapula. So pull your scapula back before you pull, because otherwise you're going to be pulling mostly with your arms. Are mass gainers a good option to get your calories? I don't recommend them, mostly because I believe they're mostly sugar, so pretty bad for you. So get your calories naturally. I don't recommend mass gainers at all, to be honest. How can I start tracking my calories? Yeah, Jonas said MyFitnessPal, pretty good app for that. Honestly, if I don't even track calories, to be honest. If you're really skinny and you're like just struggling to like know when you're in the appropriate range, yeah, that might be a good option. But there's this thing called intuitive eating. Let me post a vid of it. It's like it's pretty good style. Intuitive eating. That's why this dude. Well, he didn't create it, but this dude
So
named
7 years ago,
Joffrey Verdi Schofield. He posted a really good video on the topic. And yeah, let's see, where was I at? I have a smoothie every morning for breakfast. That's good, bro. I actually didn't eat breakfast. I should probably, you know what I'm saying? eat that, but good ways to hit the lower abs. Hanging leg raises are really good options. If you can't do those, just knee raises or even on the ground, just do leg raises on the ground. Try not to use your hip flexors too much. That's why I recommend doing them hanging because it's a lot easier to emphasize the lower abs, but yeah. Let's see. I have a program I made for myself. Monday, 200 push-ups, 100 leg raises, and 90-second plank in the morning, 100 burpees around 1 p.m., and a full body calisthenics workout at 4 or 5 p.m. Tuesday, same as Monday, blah, blah, blah. Sunday, rest. Game Bunny, are you like, if you're a beginner, I think it should be fine. Like, again, I can't really judge it because I don't know what the calisthenics workout consists of. Because if you're doing like 1,000 like dips or something on your calisthenics workout, yeah, that's too much. But I can't tell you because I don't know the details of the workout. I'm 16. My parents not allowing me to go to the gym. I'm actually posting a full program for people who can't go to a gym for beginners pretty soon. So I'll try to get that out as fast as possible, but just do home workouts, bro. You can get pretty jacked off of just home workouts. And probably like any calisthenics thing you can get pretty jacked. I won't lie. Max, stop taking pre-workout. Bad. If you rely on pre-workout just to hit a workout, that's not good. Let's see. I'm skinny fat, struggling to do any sort of workouts, can't even do push-ups, like I got no muscle, my body weight is too high for my skinny arms to handle. The only exercise I can do is legs. Do you have any ideas as to how I can start working my way up with little to no equipment? Okay, it's a really good question. I know a lot of people, like, I know this dude who literally could not hit a single push-up ever. Like, and then like even though he couldn't hit a single push-up, he still worked his way up, and he's pretty jacked right now. So if you can't do a push-up, if you can't even do a knee push-up, do push-ups on the wall. Like, the further your feet are going to be away from the wall, the harder it's going to be to a certain extent. But just put your hands against the wall, get your feet kind of back, and start doing push-ups on the wall. When you're able to hit like around 4 times 25, start going into knee push-ups and try to do as many as you can there. Once you get 4 times 25, move on to real push-ups, and then you can start getting into the non-static rep ranges and just keep building up. And over time, you're going to keep building up muscle and strength. Make sure you're eating well as well, and you're going to gain muscle. You're not going to be skinny fat. Honestly, skinny fat is usually a lack of muscle as well as the high body fat percentage. I'd suggest a recomp as well as just training really hard and smart and eating high protein. Itchy beta allen. Okay, that's crazy. That is actually crazy. I have conditioning training Tuesday and basketball as well as basketball training the day after. Then I got basketball games Friday and Sunday. Any advice on still being able to hit the gym and perform and not injure myself due to overtraining? I want to build on my physique and get more athletic as well, get maximal performance in basketball. I felt this so hard, bro. I felt this, bro, because I'm a basketball player as well. And I'm surprised your knees aren't giving out with all that shit, but let's see. So Tuesday, so conditioning on Tuesday, basketball training as well. The day after, basketball game Friday, Sunday. So you have Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Honestly, for like basketball isn't really working your like actual strength, and you're not building muscle through basketball. Well, it's strength to a certain extent if you're jump training, but for example, you can do a split like a 3 times full body and get away with that pretty well. If it's impacting your basketball, start with a 2 times a week full. Bro, my cat is wilding right now. Like a 2 times a week full body on the days you're not playing basketball, so it doesn't impact your performance too much. But usually you can recover from aerobic training in 24 to 48 hours. So usually the day after a basketball workout or whatever in conditioning, you can go hit the gym. So you have Tuesday and Wednesday basketball. You don't want to impact your training, or you don't want to impact basketball then. So, well, shit, you kind of have the schedule's kind of fucked for this. But okay, so Monday, so Tuesday and Wednesday, you don't have a very intense basketball, or you don't have games, so you don't have to worry about impacting your performance for like a practice. You can do a full body on Monday. Make sure you don't tax your aerobic system too much, because then when you go into basketball, you're gonna be fucked. I recommend so Monday, and you could probably get away with the Thursday one if it depends on like what your game is. If it's like a shit, bro, this is a tough question. Okay, natural hypertrophy on YouTube. I'm copping out right now because I can't do this right now. I can't build like a whole program for you off of just right now because I need to like meticulously put shit together and figure things out. But the cop out right now is go to natural hypertrophy, and I'll just link it for you. He has a hybrid program for people who want to build muscle and
From them,
have a sport that they do. I don't think there's one for basketball, but you can probably adapt the one for soccer because they have similar training, so you could probably do that. Now, where the hell was I? Okay. Skipping's good as fuck, not gonna lie. Bars. Skipping is fire. What supporter does and should I buy? I have no idea what supporter is. I'm 10 minutes late. What did I miss? You will have to see that in the after video when I post it to YouTube. But it might take a little bit longer because I have to edit some stuff. I should want to like add some edits like yeah, I'm gonna test some stuff out because I'm not really great with editing, so yeah. I'm gonna try. Let's see. In case it wasn't already asked, what protein powders do you recommend? I think I have whey isolate, but whey is probably the way to go. I know there's like yeah, whey isolate as Max said. He said, brands I can't really say because I don't know where you're at. I think I have Kaizen or Lean Fit. I don't remember which one it is from Costco. How many reps should I do? I can't do like 15 without breaking a sweat. You should be breaking a sweat, my boy. Can't just do push-ups and like obviously you're gonna break a sweat. Like if you're not breaking a sweat, that's not necessarily an indication of like progress, but usually in calisthenics you're gonna be breaking a sweat just because the high volume training. Let's see. Let me drink some water. Drink your water, boys. Stay hydrated. In general, you should stretch every day, and it'll get harder to get cramps. Yeah, stretching every day is pretty good. I'm pretty flexible, so I do it like every couple days, but yeah. I have a workout pro, yeah. Oscar, send that program to him, bro. Because this video is going to take a while to get out just because, bro, editing is hard. It's crazy. Is there a place where I can link a workout program to help people that can't use it? Just send it in, I don't know if Jonah responded to you already, but just send in #fitness or just DM it to the person if they're a Jeffrey. Or I think you can post in physical health as well, because I think there's a channel for that. Is no consumption better than processed consumption? You still need to eat, so yeah, it's a pretty vague question. It's kind of hard to answer that because are you like how much processed food are you eating? If it's above, like if it's way too much, you're going to be impacting your long-term health, but at the same time if you're not eating at all, you're also going to be you're going to die if you don't eat. So I need more details on that. But obviously you need to eat. I'm a beginner. Should I go for abs first? Abs should be at the end of your workout. You don't want to impact because like if you do like a heavy squat, your abs are going to be activated by bracing. So you don't want to impact your performance for your heavy compounds. You do them after at the end of your workout. Thoughts on cut, bulk, and main gaining. A lot of people don't need to cut, honestly, when you're in the intermediate phase, or at least if you're really fat. Cutting is good, but most of you guys should be bulking. Main gaining is kind of like it's tough to do. If you need to like really hone in your nutrition when you're main gaining, like you need to have high protein, you need to not overtrain, you need to sleep a lot, you need to there's so much stuff you need to do that like even if you dial in everything, it's not going to be as effective as bulking. So I recommend just bulking. Main gaining is kind of stupid. Let's see. Do you guys eat something before you work out early in the morning? Bro, whenever I don't eat before a workout or if I'm going into a workout kind of hungry, my performance is so ass. So yeah, I don't know if it's the same for you, but eat some food. Yo, Syntax, I got some pain in my sciatic nerve since a few days. Nothing super bad, but really annoying, especially when doing something like deadlifts or squats. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a physical trainer, so I have no idea what the sciatic nerve is, or if I'm even pronouncing that right. If you say like elbow pain, I can probably diagnose and help you with that. High carbs before a workout better. I'd say eat your carbs after a workout because it mobilizes the carbs a lot better. But yeah, black coffee for pre-workout good. Bro, don't take pre-workout. Don't rely on a stimulant or like a stimulatory drug to work out. Bro, come on. Stop lacking. Yo, y'all spamming the messages. I'm like way up. I'm like 15 minutes behind all the questions. Oh, fuck. It's crazy. Let's see. Please give me tips on how to do my first ever pull up. Doing, if you can't do a pull up, try doing the negative version of the pull up. So jump up to the top of the bar and slowly release yourself going down. So eccentric overload. Do that as much as possible. Make sure you do it like 3 to 4. You can even get away with doing it like every single day because eccentric overload isn't very taxing on the system in general. So you can do eccentric overload. Make sure you train easier variations. If you can, use bands. If you're at home, that's kind of tough. Do inverted rows to train the back. But yeah, no, eccentric overload and scapula pull-ups as well. So scapula pull-ups, eccentric overload with the negative pull-ups by jumping up to the top of the bar and slowly letting yourself go down. And then any specific back work, so like inverted rows. If you can do any like harder variation of that, you can do that. But yeah. Lil Sus 15 minutes ago asked how late am I? 30 minutes. Oh, shit. Bro, so many questions. Y'all some. I love you guys. You guys are so chill. Let's see. What do you think about black coffee as a pre-workout? I don't fuck with pre-workouts. If I'm in the morning, I always have a coffee in the morning, but that's something else. If I train before I have my coffee, that's fine. But if you're specifically timing your coffee just so that you can use it to work out, I don't fuck with that. Don't rely on pre-workout just to do anything. Like if you take caffeine and do a squat, you can probably like lift like 20 pounds more just because of the stimulatoriness of the, you know what I'm saying? Caffeine stimulates your system quite a lot, and it's not something you should rely on. I did negatives 2 days ago. My lats were sore. Good. Australian pull-ups, yes. Inverted rows, Australian pull-ups, all those. Easier variations and work up to the harder variations. I don't know why I'm not able to do pull-up. I can do dead hangs for a minute and I do the Australian pull-ups. You're just not strong enough. Simple as that. Keep getting stronger. Eventually you'll be able to do them. Do I have to start off with the beginner routine when I join the rim or join the gym, or start off with something a little bit more advanced? I've run at a high competitive level for many years and I'm clearly above average when it comes to athletics, physique, and fitness, etc. So I don't know what would be appropriate. I feel you on this. Like, I have done karate for years before my training. I did some calisthenic stuff before training as well. I'd still recommend jumping into a novice program because you don't have the movement patterns of a bench press, a deadlift, and a squat to be able to just jump into like a crazy high volume intensity program that has like SLDLs, RDLs, like all the shit that you don't even know what it is. So I'd recommend starting with a novice program, and you'll be able to progress much faster, and because you already have the strength there, so you'll be like well above average in the novice program, so you can hop off of it early. But I still recommend starting with a novice program. What do you think is better, bulk? Oh, I can't read. What do you think, is bulk and cut better than main gaining? Yep, bulk is better, and or cutting if you are trying to lower your body fat. Syntax: how do you balance fitness and school? I already said that previously. It was like I'll you just I'll have timestamps in the video, so you can just reference that when the thing is posted. Or negatives. Let's see. Hold on, I can't read. Negatives only so slowly while using your back and not your arms. Make sure that you have your scapula retracted. It'll activate more back. That's how you bias your back rather than your arms. Drinks water. Yes, I want more water as well. Dehydrated Eddie. Bro, I'm still like 15 minutes behind questions. Chest fly for chest hits different. Chest flies are really good for, like, especially dumbbell versions, but when you get like to the point where you're doing like 80-pound dumbbell chest flies, it can become an injury risk for your shoulders. So at the start they're good, but when you get really strong, it's kind of tough. Climax asks, what's the theme of the Q&A? Just a fitness Q&A, and honestly, you can start asking self-improvement questions if we run out of these general fitness questions. Honestly, anything. It's kind of cool. Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. I should post a video on how to do a pull-up, even though you just linked a video how to do a pull-up. Easy dub. Ideas for a first date. I have never been on a date. I'm wildin', to be honest. But just make sure you have good eye contact. Don't try to be someone you're not, and just vibe, bro. It ain't that deep. Do you do calisthenics? I used to. I still do like pull-ups and push-ups and shit, but not mainly. I mainly do weightlifting though. Main gaining is better though because you slowly gain muscle. Let me drop some science. So basically, when you are in a calorie maintenance, your protein synthesis is basically when it could be 150%, it's going to be at like 125%. Maintaining calories is completely terrible for gaining muscle. If you're in a bulk, you're going to be at like 150% protein synthesis. So I do not recommend any main gaining unless you're trying to recomp because you're fat as shit or skinny fat or whatever. But main gaining is kind of like a gimmicky term. That's why I recommend like not like a massive surplus, but like a 250 calorie surplus to 500, 300 to 500, something like that. I can't read, bro. It's tough, man. I want to start powerlifting. Should I do it, or should I just stick with push pull legs? Or legs push pull? It depends on your goals. If you want to do powerlifting, like the fuck. But because I don't have like experience with powerlifting programs to the point where I can like say, yeah, do it now. But if you're a novice, I'd stick to a novice program until you tap out your novice gains or newbie gains, and then jump into a powerlifting program. If you're at like a 200 dead and you're still making week to week progress, do not hop on a powerlifting program. Just tap out your novice gains before you do that. I don't know if you already left DM Gamer, but take care, bro. This is the sciatic nerve. Let's see. Oh, it's in your hip. Ah. And okay, do you have any idea of what caused the injury? Because I know I've never, like, I've had hip pain, but I don't know if it's been in specifically the sciatic nerve. Stretch out as much as you can, and like my general advice to anyone who's injured is stretch. Uh, Make sure you sleep a lot so you recover, and work easier variations. So, example, if you have like a pec injury, start with doing wall push-ups or something when you don't have any pain. Don't work through pain. Make sure you have no pain in something like a regular wall push-up, and just do that so you get blood flow into the muscle. Band pull-up or any assisted pull-up. As a question, like, yeah, if you can't do regular pull-ups, yeah, it's a good way to work up to it. Negative pull-ups are doable, but I hit my head on the ceiling before. You know what? Me too. I feel you. That's tough. If you can get on a chair or something to get to the highest part of the bar, do that so that you don't hit your head on the ceiling. That's tough, bro. Yeah, just stand on something if you can. I assume you're tall or your ceilings are extremely low, but just stand on a chair or something, anything that you can to get to the top of the bar and then do that. Are cold showers bad for your health in winter? Like, can you catch a cold if you do like regularly? You don't catch a cold by being cold. It just weakens your immune system. So, but I don't take cold showers because I'm kind of a pussy. So I don't have the science behind that, but I doubt it will, because you're in a shower. You're not outside or around people that'll have the sickness when your immune system is weak. So I think they're fine to do in the winter. I know a lot of people who've taken cold showers 365 days around the year and still not gotten sick. I heard cold showers actually improve your immune system. So what the cat doing? Let's see. The potassium prevents cramps from happening too. Dead ass. I'm saying bananas. Lean bulk is absolutely goated. Dead ass. Are you going to record the lecture? Been recording. I got you, bro. How to find a good gym, bro? Gym, bro, or like find like a place to train, because those are two different things. So why you need commas? People don't use commas enough, so I can't like understand. Like if he's saying gym, bro, or syntax gonna read this sentence after 15 minutes. Hey, it was 5 minutes. I'm catching up, bro. Uh, okay. Well, just for both scenarios, if you want to find a real gym bro, um, go to the gym. No, actually, probably find a fuck, bro. I just already knew people who lifted, so if you know someone, like, you don't need a gym bro though. Like, you don't need someone to lift with at all times. But if you can find someone in your school, if you're in school, that works out, and just ask them to go to the gym with you or something, or ask if you can follow them and you work out, something like that. And I find like a real gym is don't go to Planet Fitness. That's yeah. I have a home gym, so I can't fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm tweaking. Oh god. How can I work out in the middle of the week having school when my program is push pull legs? Because I'm not able to work out in the middle of the week. Get off push pull legs if it is impacting your school life. You don't want to, because you can make gains while not being on push pull legs, and I think push pull legs is not even the best program. I'd say full body is the best. So hop on like a full body split or something, or upper lower, so that you don't have to impact your school performance, and your school isn't impacting your gym performance. Your I have too many books. I don't know which one to read first. Which one sparks your interest? Like, whatever book is like shit. If you have Atomic Habits, cyber something genetics, fuck, I don't even know. Psycho-cybernetics, and you have the Book of Five Rings. Which one sparks your interest? Shit, maybe I want to read about samurais one day, and one day I want to learn about habits. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever sparks your interest. Reading is not like I have to sit down and I have to read. Should be fun. Greg Doucette is goated. I actually do not fuck with Greg Doucette at all. Not I don't fuck with him just off all the controversies he has. He's like an entertainment channel now. He like I don't know. Old Doucette was goated. Y'all really like just giving dating advice over here. And just me like out here. I'm walling. Let's see. Will I be able to watch this lecture again? Yeah, it might take a little bit to edit because, editing is hard. So I'll try to get it out by the end of today, though. Or maybe start it tomorrow. You're welcome, Rad. I love you, bro. Lamar, the topic is fitness and this session is about dating. Hey, bro, that's cool. If we don't have any more fitness questions, yeah, like we can transition to whatever you want, guys. Like I'm just here to vibe, to be honest. Slam that workout, bro. Hey, if nobody else, like I finally caught up to the present day. Yeah, that's crazy. But if you guys don't have any more fitness questions, you can start doing self-improvement questions, uh, or we can start just inviting people onto the stage and we can just chat for a while. Is Arnold chest workout good? You wanna drop the program in the chat or just screenshot it and send it in suggestions? Because I cannot just like I don't know the Arnold workout. Best 3 leg workouts? I don't know, bro. Can't just give like this is different for everyone. Some people might respond really well to low volume and intensity on squats. And for example, I respond to really high volume on Bulgarian split squats. That makes my quads grow like a goddamn weed. So you guys have any self-improvement questions or should I start inviting people? And then build up some more questions over time. What's your opinion about the conversion of rage in the context of fitness / self-improvement? Oh, rage into motivation. Okay, so the thing about using like negative emotions for like training or using that as your motivation is it runs out fast. I like to give the analogy of a fire. So think of like a fire burning, that's your motivation or that's your drive or whatever. Rage as your motivation is like throwing on propane onto the fire or some sort of very combustible material. That's like making a massive fire really fast, but obviously it burns very fast and gets rid of the fuel fast. So that's kind of like negative emotions for training or whatever. It's a very big fire, but it burns out very fast. And the thing about it is I like positive emotions for training because it's like a slow burning fuel. It takes a little bit of time to really pick up, but over time you're gonna have a much stronger fire and like a fire that lasts a longer time. So if like it's not a bad thing to use it every now and then as like a spark if you like can barely get into the gym or something, but don't rely on it. Don't use it super frequently. It's like a once a month type of thing. Something interesting about samurais and ninjas is in that I really need to go back to school. Is that in the Edo period, is that the samurai that are oh, okay no I think I'm either you can't spell or I'm having a stroke that are stereotypically straight up and good were all backstabbing bastards doing anything to get to the top, while ninjas who are portrayed as the backstabbing tricksters were actually very straightforward and noble. That's kind of lit. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Wait, actually, Riva posted this. The thing. Bench press 5 sets. Incline bench 5 sets. Flies 5 sets. Yeah, no, that is way too much volume for just the same movement pattern. 10 sets for bench. That's crazy. The thing is, I don't like taking like programs and advice from people who are on PEDs. Is that their idea of what is normal volume is like 10 times higher to what the normal person can actually do. That's why I don't like taking advice from PED users, but yeah. What can we do about acne? Started a lot after working out. As soon as you finish your workout, go shower. Stay clean. If you need to, shower twice a day. Get on a skincare routine as well. I can help you. Syntax, should I lower my workout volume and intensity because I'm feeling burnt out and tired and I'm missing like half my workouts? That's a great question. See, Max posted this Instagram post, which I recommend all of you guys go follow his Instagram. He posts some fucking great posts on there. But he basically said that you want to start not with high intensity, but just start with as much uh, consistency as possible. So start with really like easy, like you don't want to start with going into like an Arnold workout where you're doing like 20 squats or 20 sets of squats. If you need to, just go to the gym and come back. That's your workout for the day. If you're more advanced and just going to the gym, like obviously you're gonna just want to hit a workout, maybe or just even just a set. That's fine. Go there, hit a set, come back, and keep progressively overloading rather than like you know what I'm saying? Because shit gets tough and it psychologically burns you out. That's why I recommend like you probably started with an intermediate program when you should have had like a novice program. Because I made the same mistake. I started with a massive push pull legs that like it's crazy volume. It's like impossible to finish workouts at my stage, and I ended up pushing through. But at this stage right now, I'm like completely burned out, and now I need a new program, and I got a new program. So.
Do you mind me adding some
Go for it.
things to
Go for
that?
it.
Okay, so with the working out thing, one trick I recommend to everyone who's struggling with like motivation to go to the gym or with like consistency is to make your like minimum requirement really low. So for example, you say, on the days where I go to the gym, I just have to leave my house with my gym bag. So you probably will have a habit tracker, so you can tick it off when you just pack your gym bag, get dressed, and get out of your house. And this is enough, because most of the time, the thing that is really holding you back from starting to work out or going to the gym is the thought of going there, having to do like a very um, like long workout, and this will really makes it will really make you want to not go. But if you just go outside and that's it, you will most of the time just go to the gym anyway. And on some days where you're not feeling great, you might say, okay, I went outside and I will go back up into my apartment, and that's fine too. But most of the time, you will see that by like avoiding to think about the task and just getting outside of your house, you will get it done more often. So yeah, set the bar for success really really low, because this will build the habit and this will build momentum, and then it will be much easier to scale that up to like more sophisticated like requirements for success.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd like to add something as well. Like I've been suffering from something similar to that, like the past few weeks. So, like for me, like university, like I've been going to the university, so it's been hard for me. Like it's been hard to like tune my routine, like my self improvement and like fitness routine accordingly. So in the morning, let's say like Monday morning or Tuesday morning, like in person class, before in person classes, like I'd just burn myself out and I'd go for just like a 1 hour run, like let's say close to around nearly 10K, and like I'll be just like destroyed. I'll be like the pace will be high as well, like close to competitive like levels of pace and stride and stuff. So by the time I get back, like I'll have a shower, then have some breakfast, and then it's straight to campus for lectures, and then like it's just burnout, man. Like I feel like mentally fatigued and shit. I feel a tad bit like sleep deprived because in order to fit that in before like lectures at 9 a.m. I'll have to wake up at like 5:30. So and then I get back home and I really want to do like a home workout, try to fit that in as well. And like I'll obviously have to juggle that with like assignments and stuff. So it's just like it's hell pretty much. So and like yesterday I just said I'm gonna just tune my routine to just aim to hit either the run or the home workout because the run itself is like long enough to like it might for me anyway to like just qualify. It's enough. It's enough. So
Mm.
yeah, it's kind of hard trying to just juggle it all with like school life, just like and other aspects. But like as long as you just do something, something's better than nothing. It doesn't matter like even how even if it's like something small, like just hitting a skipping rope or a small workout routine. It's just showing up and eventually like you want to do more or like you can tune your daily routine structure to just fit it all in without it just being fatiguing and eventually you'll just like accumulate to burnout which you obviously want to avoid.
Mm. Just show up, boys. Easy as that. Eventually, you'll build momentum, and the amount of work you do, like for example, if your goal is to, I like to do this in terms of reading because it's a lot easier to explain. But example, your goal is to read 1 page a day because you're setting the bar extremely low. Now, eventually, over time, 1 page is going to seem like nothing. Now you can start doing 2 pages. Eventually, you'll be able to go to 2, 5, 10, etc. And eventually, you're going to be reading like 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, just by the simple fact that you're progressively overloading. It's just like the gym. You start with like low volume, low everything, and eventually you build up to higher, higher, higher. More weight, more weight, more reps, etc. Progressively overload. Mm. Yeah, follow up his Instagram though. He posts some good shit. Fire content. Someone. How do I?
So maybe
Okay, go for it.
one more small thing. And it's quite logical if you think about it. It's better to do like a really bad, really short, really like lame workout than doing a really good than doing no workout, but the workout you thought you might do is really good. So
Facts. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
0.1% is better than 0%.
yeah, exactly. And no matter how good the workout could be if you went to the gym, if you are not going to the gym, it's worse than doing like a really bad workout.
Mm.
And like um, small gains compound, right?
Yes,
Like you
exactly.
can make very very small gains on your investments, but if they compound over a long time, you will get like a lot of return. Just
Facts.
takes some patience, and I think this like a lack of patience and a lack of like ego control is what makes a lot of people set goals that are way too high for them,
Mm.
and so they burn out.
Yeah. Also, don't make your goals off of the state of motivation because
Yeah,
motivation is an emotion. It'll come, it'll go. And when you're in an unmotivated state and you see your goal is to read like 30 self improvement books in a day or something like that, or work out like 8 hours a day or something ridiculous that you would think, oh, that's achievable when you're fully motivated. Your unmotivated state is going to be like, oh, that's impossible to do, and just completely not do your goals at all. So set the bar extremely low to the point where even if you're unmotivated and feeling like ass,
yeah,
you can still finish it. Someone
yeah,
asked, how do I work out more efficiently with nearly no obstructions in between? It's a really good question. If you want to like basically do your workout and you just don't stop moving, there's this thing called giant sets or supersets. Basically, what you're gonna do, I'll take it in terms of giant sets because you can basically train and not do rests. So say you have actually, I have an example on my Notion, which you'll see in the post edit. Uh, let's see, it's completed. Okay, so for example, you have something like chin ups. You start with chin ups, AMRAP. Then you move into cable lateral raises for whatever set. Then you do barbell shrugs. and then you do diamond push-ups, knee raises, calf raises. I don't know actually how it's like if it's slash. It's really confusing if you see this in the edit, but you're gonna basically do exercises 1, 2, 3, and as soon as you finish the third exercise, you go back to the first exercise. So there's no actual break in between the lifts, so it's just constant exercise. I kind of do the same for my workouts, not really supersets or not trisets. I mean, I do some supersets here and there, but to keep moving, I just have my basketball and I just dribble on my platform. So yeah, I see all these. He caught up in the chat, and then I'm like 20 messages behind. I'm tweaking. What would a good skincare routine look like? Victory, do you have a skincare routine?
Bruh, nah. No, but I remember seeing a good video. I think Jordan Green has one on his channel. Yeah, like it's definitely like I watched it and like I implemented some of the stuff, but like setting up a full routine, I haven't like gone to doing that. But like I'll find a link and I'll put it in the chat.
There's too many like creams and exfoliators and all this shit. I just
Yeah,
I have pretty garbage skin, so it's not like I can give too much advice, but sometimes every now and then whenever I remember, I put on some like uh tea something tea tree oil on my face. It's like a tea tree cream or something. It's pretty good. Whenever I like consistently apply it, it helps my skin quite a bit. I have no idea how to cure boils, bro. I cannot help you with that. It's like very small pimples. It probably just because you're a teenager, you have a lot of oil on your skin. Just make sure you're cleaning your face with water, and then I think Victory's gonna post that skincare. Or, I don't know if he already has, but
yeah.
My problem is I need to drive like 30 minutes to the gym. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, if you have to go 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back, and then you spend like an hour, hour and a half in the gym, that's already 2.5 hours. And if you have like work and other things, it kind of gets hard to do that. So I would say if you have the finance, get a home gym. Home gyms are superior to all other gyms. Granted, you have the appropriate equipment, but if you can get a home gym, if it's not feasible or you have no time to actually go to the gym, do some home workouts because you can get pretty jacked with that. Just get some rings, pull-up bar, just all the basic stuff. And that's not too expensive. You can spend like $100 and you can get pretty much all the equipment. You get some bands and some rings, and that's pretty much all you need. Oh, this is an interesting question. What do you guys think of, instead of progressive overload, doing exercises to failure? Now, the thing is, doing exercises to failure is a form of progressive overload if you think about it. It's not the best way to track progression because it's kind of variable. But if you're doing something like an AMRAP workout with pull-ups, going to failure every single time and doing that every day or whatever your training is a form of progressive overload. It's not the best. I'd recommend staying in a rep range, but for certain exercises, just cranking them out is a decent way. But recommend tracking reps instead of just going crazy. Should I do push-pull legs with rest day after 3 or 6 days? It's push-pull legs, rest, from what I know. So Sunday is the rest day. Let's see. So doing constant different isolation exercise to cut rest time and keep heart rate up. It's not even like it's completely just isolation movements either. In this, it's curls, it's called a gentleman split. It's by Natural Hypertrophy. Literally the GOAT of YouTube training or YouTube bodybuilding, but basically there's still stiff leg deadlifts, which is still a compound with pull-ups and leg raises supersetted into it. So it's not like you're just doing isolation exercises. It's like you're just constantly doing a type of exercise. It's not like I don't know how to create the gentleman split because it's kind of complicated, but you're basically just doing an exercise in between, basically as a rest break in between your first exercise, if that makes sense. So you have like your first exercise, you do your second and your third, and by the time you go back to your first exercise, it'll be like a minute or 2 minutes so that you can just go and hit it right away. It's a lot faster. Also, one good thing is to not to sit down when you're in the gym and instead walk around in between sets. Yeah, honestly, one bad habit I have is just like getting on my phone or getting on my computer and then I miss my rest time. So I have like a whole ass alarm, like a like I set a timer and it makes like a loud ass noise so that I know when to go. But yeah, make sure you keep your heart rate up when you're working out. What about injuries, especially in important areas like the chest, elbows? Is still worth going to do a bit extra of legs. I can't. Yo, I'm lost right now. I'm not gonna cap, but let's see. So you're asking me if you're injured in places like the elbow and the chest, is it worth doing legs, extra legs? If you're injured in the upper body, you can usually train the lower body without any consequences. So yeah, you can still do extra legs, but if you're stuck because you can't, or if you're at, if your question is, should I do extra legs because I have more like training time since the upper body is injured? You don't have to, and there's not really a point if you're already at your like max recoverable volume for a lower body. There's literally no point in just increasing. If you're progressing on a week to week basis, don't try and like speed up the progression as fast as possible because that's how you stall. Because if you're hitting like a 5x5 and you stall, like stalling is like one of the most psychologically damaging things you can do to yourself. So try not to rush progression to the point where you stall. Just relax, let the injuries heal. Make sure you get blood flow to the area. Do like rehab exercises and yeah, stretch, sleep, eat a lot of food. How to stay humble when life is getting good? Because when life goes good for me, sometimes my mind goes to the sky and I ignore good habits and then I end up down bad again. How do I be confident but not arrogant? Ooh, any of you guys want to take that question? Because it's kind of tough.
Um, yeah. You wanna like have the view of it. Like it's like a staircase, right? Or like you're going up a building. So once you like reach like floor one, floor two, floor three, and then you're all the way at like floor 10, right? You still have more floors to go, but you don't want to get too comfortable at the floor you're at. You don't want to just like hang around at that floor and just like enjoy and overindulge on the benefits that are like available to you at that floor because obviously there's always going to be like something better or something or some kind of higher goal to aim for. So you should try to the best of your ability to keep just doing what you've always been doing to get to that position in the first place, just to give you that good basis. But you should also like aim and try to extend and to just go higher than you're currently at. You you want to know that like all you've built, like you want to have like a realistic like perspective of it. Like all you've built can or all you've achieved can just like disappear in like the blink of an eye. So you really do not want to just get caught up in it like it's a fantasy or something that's gonna be permanent forever, cause it's not. And you want to know that you in order to like make it more worthwhile and to last longer, like let's say like you're getting good grades and you're like satisfied at the grades you're at, like let's say you're above average and you're passing all your classes like comfortably, but that's gonna eventually lead to complacency if you're not too careful and if you're just satisfied with your current results. So you should obviously aim for the next bar or the next stage. That should just be like your natural just impulse to do. It's very easy to just to get complacent and get comfortable
Okay.
because what's the Yeah, you wanna say something?
No, my fault. I was just
Oh,
talking
all
to my
right.
mom.
Yeah. Yeah. So, fuck, I lost what I was
My
thinking
fault,
about.
bro.
But
My fault.
yeah, yeah, you're like going back to like the grades and stuff. Like you want to reach higher and like just build up that like cushion of comfort. Essentially, stuff's gonna be a lot more easier if you do that, and it's it's something to aim towards, and it's something to keep you going, and it keep you keep you improving instead of keeping stagnant and eventual like decline if you don't practice what you do or if you don't aim to go to the next stage or higher level. So yeah, definitely you don't want to be complacent at where you're at. There's always someone else or something higher to aim towards.
Mm.
Yeah, I would agree. And to add one thing to that, like you want to be always in like a perfect spot between being like maybe 80%, 90% comfortable, but 10% like outside of your comfort zone. So, for example, I think weight training is the best example for this. If you always like train with the same weight, you won't improve. Like if you always bench like 40 kilos, you won't improve. You want to always like be like 2 kilos or a few reps above your comfort zone so that your muscles grow. And this is like the place where you get really inspired and where you really enjoy it. And as you improve and as your life improves, you want to increase the challenges and increase the things you do. For example, if you are playing like table tennis with a buddy or playing like football, and if you always play against people who are like total amateurs and who can't really play, but you are really good, then you will like it won't be a lot of fun to always stomp like people who are very bad, right? But at the same time, you wouldn't want to always play against like world champions because they will just crush you every time. So you want to always play against people who are like slightly better than you because this will allow you to grow. And in life, this is like the same thing. You want to always slightly increase the challenge. So, for example, Victory made the example for university or for schoolwork. If you are getting like really good grades and you're like really learning a lot, you want to slightly increase like the level of things you learn. So maybe go deeper into some topics, or maybe research on your own for some um, scientific papers, for example. So you're always pushing yourself a little bit, and this way you keep growing, which will make your life even better, and you will also not get bored or not get like too comfortable because you're always like slightly outside of your comfort zone.
Mm. Don't think I need to add anything to that. That was pretty well thought out and put together. Appreciate you guys. Do you think a dopamine detox? I'm like, shit. I'm like 15 minutes back again. Do you think a dopamine detox counts for listening to music as well? Uh, I personally no, as long as you're using it while you're like exercising or doing a workout, something like that, something productive matched with the music is fine in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think I'm personally not the biggest fan of like this idea of restricting all dopamine like
Yeah, same.
in like a crazy amount. I think it makes sense to because again like progressive overload. If you're like really addicted to dopamine, it makes sense to reduce it first.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone who like I've tried to quit video games for like 2.5 years, um, and I sold my PC. I uninstalled everything like twice a week, and all that stuff. But I never could actually like beat the addiction. And when I then finally started to just reduce the amount of time I spent on it, it finally like solved the problem. So if you're trying to make like a dopamine detox, I don't think you have to stop listening to music or stop totally like doing anything that is enjoyable in that sense. So just like do what makes sense. So if you're spending a lot of time on the internet, for example, just reduce it by a few hours. Or if you're like listening to music the entire day, maybe say, okay, I will only listen to this playlist. Maybe you got like a new favorite song or a new like album you're like listening to. You make the rule for yourself, okay, I'm only going to listen to that while I'm at the gym. So this way you can like make yourself look forward to going to the gym and listen to the music. And at the same time, I don't think it's like instant gratification.
Like implement those no fap like practices into your life as well, and it can also it can also just lead to you not taking action, which is something you obviously don't want to do. You want to you want to extend off of that. Like what good is like retaining your semen if you're not fucking like doing anything else? Like you just be the guy who's on no fap. You don't want to let that like be your identity or
Mm.
define you, especially, and that can be said also for self-improvement as well. Like you just don't want to be you don't want to be the guy who just consumes a large amount of self-improvement videos and knowledge, and you don't want that to be your identity. You don't want to be like, hey, I'm John and I'm the self-improvement advocate. Like you don't that's not what you want to do. You want to obviously take the knowledge and just apply it into your life. Like it's there to be used. It's free, and it's a resource that everyone should like wisely make the most out of.
Mm. I don't apologize for leaving so abruptly. I appreciate you guys for taking over.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone asked tips for improving vertical jump. Uh, Again, I'm gonna have have a video coming out for everything, bro. But basically, the most specific thing you can do to improve your vertical is jump. Now, usually to improve, like for example, in lifts, you're gonna want to have a specific version. So, say you want to increase your deadlift, you're gonna do deadlifts, obviously, and then you're gonna train a harder variation to get more out of less weight. So, for example, I've been training to get a 300-pound deadlift for a while, and to do that, I've been training my deadlift, and I've been training a weaker variation, which was the RDL. Now, in conjunction, both of these things help me work up to the 300-pound deadlift. The same can be applied for vertical jumping. So you're going to want to be jumping every day or every couple days just so you don't get overuse injuries. You want to be doing plyometrics and strength training. So you're going to be training the harder things, uh, power cleans, squats, deadlifts, and do like more speed training. So try to like squat faster. Like basically, you want to accelerate as fast as possible on the concentric part of the movement. Um, Plyometrics, jumping, strength training, pretty much my top three things. Uh, Wait, what were you guys talking about? Like I just like
Just like answering the
oh
questions
word
in the lecture chat.
word. Hmm. How you guys doing though? You guys vibing? Doing good.
Yeah, bro. Like I finally got shit sorted out, so I can like work in the UK and stuff. So
Mm,
that's
nice.
like what I'm like trying to get like find jobs and stuff. Get like my CV posted out.
That's
And
fucking sick.
yeah, like that's like the first step when and now like I have to pretty much fund my athletics career now. Like it's kind of awkward because like my mom's kind of just bailing on me, so it's just
That's
gonna it's gonna be
all.
me in the UK. Yeah, so it's a lot of work, but like I'm learning all this stuff. Like this is what the shit adults do. Like before,
Yeah.
when like let's say 5 years ago, like I'd just be on my Nintendo fucking playing Pokemon and shit. But like now it's like it's a work, dude.
Mm,
So it's definitely a good like learning experience.
word. Yeah, no, just getting into that. I mean, when you become an adult earlier, it's always beneficial. You gotta learn the get fuck, bro. You get a lot more responsibilities placed on you. Builds character. Let me just pop into video ideas that I've had for YouTube and just answer those questions if you guys don't have any right now. Oh, bro, I'm not looking forward to hitting this workout right now because my calluses are starting to like hurt because I don't know why straps hurt my calluses more than holding the bar for some reason. So that's kind of weird. Mm, You guys have any questions like running? Like Victory is like a he's
Yeah.
about to be in the Olympics, bro. If you guys have anything about cardio running, could probably help you out there. Or is there anything you guys are struggling with? Try like filing your calluses down if they get big. That sounds fucking disgusting. So I'm gonna pass on that.
Ooh, yeah, there's a good question here. Any tips for training for a marathon? So
Mm.
that's like way out my depth, man. I'm too. I wish I was shorter. Like this is gonna sound weird, especially to all those like short guys who are like, "Oh, I wish I was taller." But for me, like I wish I was fucking so fucking smaller and like skinnier and stuff, so I could like run and have the chance of winning a competitive marathon. But that's not sadly that's not the case. So I just have to work with what I've got. But yeah, when it comes to training for a marathon, it's out of like my depth. Like like I before I moved to UK, like I specialized in sprinting and stuff. So, but like obviously, like so just many of the same like practices still apply to more longer distances as well as sprinting. So for a marathon, you pretty much you want to be disciplined, right? And I remember I think it was on the radio or something, like I was listening to it and it was like about some guy who was training for a marathon. So you want to like I think that's the word progressively overload. Like it's similar to the to weightlifting stuff as well. So you want to build up to that. I don't even fucking know how long a marathon is, but I'm at, like in terms of like kilometers and stuff, but it's like definitely long. So if you want to like start off with, let's say like you're probably in like the higher stages when it comes to preparations. So like saying start off like a 5K, then build up to 10K, and then go up from there. It's probably like irrelevant, but you you want to like just build up. And when it comes to like the actual race itself, like I don't know if this is like competitive or just like a charity one, but as long as you just like keep your pace and don't, oh, it's just for charity, all right. So yeah, it's just like fitness and stuff. Like you don't want to
Mm.
fuck up your diet. You don't want to be eating a lot of fast food and stuff. Just a general advice. And like as long as you like keep within your, I forgot the term. There's a word for the specific like speed you can go without like getting fatigued and stuff, like the fastest like speed or stride like distance you can go without like suffering from fatigue. But you pretty much want to keep to that like limit or that threshold. You don't want to go beyond that. And yeah, like I wish you the best of luck in that. Like it's a good experience. It's something I wish I could have done, but like obviously I'm way too big
Mhm.
for that, man. Like maybe eventually I'll do one for charity. Like it's just for fun. But as someone who's like done distance running in the past, especially like who's like also like a cross country like gold medalist like in several times, like I can say, yeah, it's an experience. And you just want to like you focus on like your breathing and stuff, like the running fundamentals and all that stuff. Like don't like have your focus like redirected to somewhere else that's other than yourself. Like you want to be like focused on where you're running and how fast you're running. And I assume there's like going to be like water pit stops and stuff, so to cool off. So take advantage of those. Like keep hydrated, especially because when you're dehydrated and when you're running, like that shit is just it's very fucking hard. Like
Mm.
you start to stagger around and you start to get like dizzy and stuff and like headaches, and like you just want to keep hydrated to make stuff a lot easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that.
Banger advice. Progressive overload.
Easy solution.
Yeah, that word. Yeah.
Progressive overload.
Yeah.
Yo, so check lecture suggestions, bro. Dealing with
Oh my
core doing lower abs makes me nut. That's tough, bro. I don't even know what to say because I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, apparently it's actually like a real thing.
That's
I
a real
saw
thing?
some article. It apparently is a real
Damn.
thing. It's for specific people. Yeah.
Yo, that's I literally have nothing to tell you about that because I have no experience with that. So, doctor, something I don't fucking know. Search it on YouTube, bro. That's tough. That's yo. Let's just invite people on the stage to vibe.
Yeah, sure.
Loon the cake. Just ask. You know what I'm saying? Just ask your questions on the stage. It's much easier. More conversation, more interaction. I think. Oh shit. Floss. Just if you want to come on stage, raise your hand. Riva. I think Riva's been waiting for quite a while. Yo.
Hi.
I do.
I'm good. I'm good. I was actually I had my hands on old points you were making, so I kept my hands. I forgot I had it up.
Do you have
So
any follow-ups for that or a new question?
no, it's I'm actually gonna I'm gonna finish your old point. I guess like about you know watching self-improvement.
Mm.
It's exactly like learning a language but not speaking it.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely useless. So
Bars.
I wanted to say that. And also, can I make questions or on the
Yeah,
stage?
go for it.
Like I guess I don't know if it's only mine, but most people, it's really hard there to stay consistent on self-improvement when you're around family. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I'm alone, I always stay consistent on self-improvement, but I really have a hard time when I'm with my family. And I don't really know how to fix that.
Mm. Damn.
Especially when I'm like not with my I'm with my grandmother or something like that,
Mm.
I think it's so much tougher than when you're alone or at least with your parents.
I think I don't even because I can't speak from experience because I don't have any experience like where my parents are not home and I'm just like cranking into self improvement. But is there like do you know the like root cause as to why that's the case? Is it like you're embarrassed that you're doing these habits around them or something
No,
like that?
like for example, I feel bad asking like my grandmother especially to cook something different, like not to cook something different, but to be like to cook. For example, when you're making some meat, instead of putting butter, maybe put less oil in general.
Yeah.
Like I find quite,
Oh, like that.
I don't feel comfortable asking,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it's really like I want to ask them, but I feel like forcing myself upon them.
Yeah, I think the like main solution to that problem, so you have to explain it first. Like you have to
Yeah.
explain like why. Well, because I would like it may seem rude to them if you like tell them stuff like that, or like try to like they might see it as like criticism or like ridicule if they don't have the context behind why you're telling them to do those things. Like I can like relate to that because before like I'd go for like runs at like fucking ungodly times, like let's say like 5 a.m. and stuff, and then my parents would be like, well, why are you doing stuff like that? Like why? And like I just told them, like I went up and I got like one of my old journals, and then like I had like all my like goals and stuff written out, and I was like I showed them, yeah, this is why, because like it may seem like insane and stuff, and like I'm trying to reach the Olympics, so I have to do like work that people in like my competition aren't like willing to do, and this is like why I'm doing this stuff that may seem like abnormal or strange. And once they have that context, they're more than likely going to be able to support you. Like
Hmm.
if you're trying to get your meals more healthier and stuff, and you can just simply explain it to your parents or your grandma why you want them to like cut down on like oil and stuff that they're adding or added on stuff they're adding into their meals or
Hmm.
into your meals, then and once they have that context, they're probably more than likely willing to support you because it shows that you're trying to like change for the better pretty much. Like it's not gonna be the case for everyone, but most of them will be able to like tell that you want to oh my words are just gone, but yeah, you got the point like in the main part of the explanation.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. That makes total sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely
Like,
agree with Victory. Like, you have to explain your goals to them because otherwise they're not gonna understand where you're coming from. If you just go up to them and are like, "Oh, less oil," they probably will take that as like a criticism towards their food, rather than if you explain that like, "Oh, I'm trying to get here, etc." Like my goals are to be healthier, whatever, or maybe you even show them the research behind it as well. Uh, they'll be more inclined to help you out with your goals. So yeah.
yeah, I guess, yeah.
All right. Is there any other questions you have? Or
No, no, no. I can leave now.
all right. Thanks for joining, bro.
Yeah, thanks for. Yeah, thanks. See ya.
See you, bro.
Yeah, I want to answer a question real quick. I don't know, I do not know how to pronounce this guy's tag, but he asked any tips for the guys like me from third world countries. He's from Myanmar who are on self improvement because we don't have like good stuff like guys from Canada, US, and UK. So yeah, when it comes to being in what are like pretty difficult or rough situations, circumstances like that, you you have to like make the most of what you got first of all. It may seem like hard and you may seem like you're put at a disadvantage compared to others in from more privileged backgrounds or this is like tough this is like tough territory, so like I don't know how to like word my sentences, but you have to know that there's a lot that you have control over and you may not really realize it at first, but you you're in this position where you pretty much have to work harder than most other people who are like in your age range from other parts of the world or parts that are considered to be more privileged. So it's all about hard work, right? Like thankfully I have experience with this. Like a few years ago, like I went down to Nigeria, which is well a third world country, and like I went to my dad's village, which is essentially like the what I'll consider like a true third world country experience, and I had to live there for a few weeks with no electricity, no internet, no phone signal, even just like you get like what 2 hours of electricity a day, and that's because we're like well off compared to other people there, and it was like a eye-opening experience because I had to pretty much make do and rework my routine completely. Because usually it'd just be like, oh, I'll wake up, I'll just play like this is before like I got like seriously into self improvement. Like this was 2019, like December of 2019. So back then I was still little bit spurgy. Like as soon as I wake up, I just go onto my phone and like play fucking video games and stuff. So now all of that kind of ended because you have to work with, let's say, your battery life, which is around like 6 to 8 hours or something like that. For and once that's out, you have to wait till like my parents like I had to wait till like my parents turned on the generator to like charge up my phone. So like I had to like what's the word? Ration like my battery life effectively and stuff like that. So it was a very like tough experience. But the thing is, you could go like from just talking to the like other kids around the village and stuff, like you could tell that they had no qualms or complaints about their lifestyle. They were perfectly happy because it's effectively their stuff that that we take for granted, such as like talking to family members and stuff. And this is like a little bit off topic, but like you can going back to self improvement. Like I'm sure like Mo, like over like here listening to this call, like the situation you're in is not as bad as like that situation that I just described, but you have to like find your drive. Like you have to be that's going to be the thing that's gonna like get you up and to keep working even though that the situation is not desirable in a sense. Your drive is going to be the thing that's gonna allow you to complete all of these self improvement habits to keep like finishing off the habit tracker and stuff because it's a lot tougher, right? Like for someone like me who's in a first world country, like I don't have to worry about like getting getting like the next meal and stuff or like my of the electricity is on or if it's off, like all that stuff is like taken care of. But for someone who's in a harder scenario or tougher circumstance, they're gonna have to like plan accordingly for stuff like that. And eventually, like when it comes to self improvement, like going back to that, you want to like this goes in for generally anyway. You want your lifestyle and your routine to just revolve around self improvement. So like you wake up, you want to be able to meditate or journal, just aim to like tick a few boxes off the habit tracker, and that's gonna give you the foundation of your routine. And then you can add in other stuff like personal goals and personal projects, side hustles. Those are going to be like the the other layers or the more complex layers added on top of that. So if you're coming from a country like that, it's going to be a lot harder, like I said before, numerous times. But you just have to you have to make the most of what you have. If you can't access gyms and stuff, you have to just hit home workouts to the best of your ability till you eventually get to a good enough scenario slash circumstance, and you will if you're working as hard as you can to just level up, and then you can get to the gym. But like currently, if you're like starting off from the very bottom, it's something you have to do. You just have to continue to work hard and build off of what you've already built through your through your progression, through self improvement, and through just gradual development, stuff like that. And you also had another question like relating to dopamine from like watching Netflix and playing video games. So, oh, let me just read it here. Yeah, and this is like it's a lot more different than it was like in the past. Like say back when my parents were growing up, like they didn't have like access to the internet, so they for the longest of time they didn't know like there was a quote unquote better world or better lifestyle like across the horizon. They didn't know about that. Well, they would have heard stuff from like the radio and stuff, but like in this today's society where like the internet, social media and stuff, like a lot of people in those um I don't- yeah, it's so hard to like phrase our words here. Like I'm trying not to be like this disrespectful and stuff, but like impoverished backgrounds, they're gonna be like aware that oh, there's like they're gonna know about like oh America, the land of the free, the land of opportunity and stuff, and they're gonna like aspire to reach that. So back when it goes to like consuming all of that content and media, like you want to like I explained this to Tegon, who's also from Myanmar. Like you also have to just be able to realize that all of that stuff it's not it's a different experience compared to your experience. Your life is unique. The path that you take down your life is unique. So in a fact, the fact that it's unique makes it rare and makes it valuable more so than we give those more so than we give it credit for. It's a lot more there's a lot more value to it. So you have to like just value those that who are around you, like your loved ones, your family, your friends, and the daily experiences, just like waking up and talking to your family, and just the relaxation time you spend in your living room, those small things, especially if you don't have like big sources of like instant gratification to drown that all out with. You have to just be grateful for those things, because at the end of the day, those are the things that are just gonna be like around you. Once you turn off your phone, like that's it gone. Like there's no that portal um to like a vortex of just infinite content and instant gratification and images, video games, all of that. Like that's turned off, and then it's you and your family. So you have to cherish those around you a lot. And this goes for people who are also just like a more like it's hard to describe. Like I don't even have the adjectives to describe this, but just us guys who are like in the West, yeah, that's the best way to put it. Like this also applies to us as well. So just know that when you're on your screen, like you close your laptop, or you turn off your phone, or you turn off your PC, like all that stuff, it's all gone, and then it's you and the others who are around you, and you should aim to cherish that. You shouldn't like it's easy to get influenced by what you see on Instagram and shit, and you'd be like, damn, I wish my life was like that. But you don't know what they went through. Their experience was unique. Your experience is also unique. So it like the value or quote unquote value is different, and it's up to interpretation. So you should value your life and your journey, and the culmination of your journey and the process of that journey, as if it was like the rarest diamond on earth, because it's unique to you. No one else is going to live your life or live through the experiences that you'll experience. So you shouldn't take them for granted. The the good times you spend with your family and friends should be valued, and the bad times should like you obviously during those bad times they're gonna be bad, but there's always gonna be like light at the end of the tunnel, especially if you're on self improvement and stuff. You're gonna be aware of this. You're going to be ahead of the game. Self improvement is gonna make it a lot more easier to have gratitude for what you've got, and to pretty much be humble and have humility in your current circumstance and position. So it's a very lengthy process, and for those who are like in less advantaged, like I'm trying not to use the same words all the time, but yeah, in those impoverished like nations and not so third world countries and stuff, you have to know that you're ahead of the rest of the competition if you have access to self improvement, because it's so easy for other people to just drown out the struggles of everyday life through their phones or the internet or their devices with instant gratification. But no, you chose to come onto here a self improvement Discord, which is going to give you a lot more long term value and delayed gratification, which will be worthwhile at the end of the day. So you've definitely made the right choice. You're definitely on the right path, and as long as you stick to that, it's going to be you're going to be able to pull yourself and your family out of unfortunate circumstance to a circumstance that's even greater and better.
Damn, bro's trying to change his life.
Yeah.
That was
Like
a good ass speech.
it's easy. It's good for me to talk about it, because like I've experienced like the two sides of the
Mhm.
coin. Like I was born in a first world country. I was raised there, but like my ethnicity and my family, like they tie back to a third world country. So I
Mhm.
got to experience like both. So like I'm able to talk well about it. Like I know the struggles, dude. I've had these like talks where people I'm related to about how like I remember especially one of my cousins like back in my dad's village like he wanted to like get out of there like just like my dad like I imagined that like my dad's one of those kids back then like around 50 years ago he was one of those kids who just wanted to get out of the bad situation where there's not like I described before, like bad infrastructure, no electricity, no water, like you name it, it's bad. So you'd obviously want to get out. And just like hearing about things from the outside world, like he was a very like fond soccer fan as well. He said he wanted to come over to the UK to see Liverpool play, and I was like, yeah, you can do that, but like you're gonna have to put in a lot more work and definitely a lot more work than other people who already have the I don't know how to describe it, but the good spawn if you play any video games. So yeah, it sounds disrespectful. I didn't say that to him directly, but that's what I was thinking. But yeah, I told him that he's gonna have to just work for it and like just keep that drive. Like like the past few like weeks and stuff, I've been going through like a existential crisis. Like I've been struggling to find that drive to like get out of bed and go for the run and stuff. But like I reminded myself and it like sent me back on track. So that's why I tell the people who are like in the in unfortunate like circumstances like that's going to be like your guiding light especially in the darkness it's going to like lead you to prosperity and your eventual goal and what you're working towards so definitely it's this I wish like my cousin like I told him about like this something like the server something like this is just like it's a key it's a gateway to just a culmination of many great things. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's something great. Like a server like this, the information and the people that you can talk to from like all over the world, like it's incredible, and definitely like it's for all people who are like joining care from third world countries. Like it's gonna give them that extra boost they need to change their scenario for the better.
Bars. Timestamp. Victory spits game for 30 minutes straight. Not funny.
Yeah,
I appreciate you answering his question in such depth
yeah.
because honestly I could not have like I don't know the like I was privileged at one first world country so I don't have the saying. Yo,
170, 2 for 3.
good job.
Strong.
My fault. Let's see. I saw this one question. I think 15 minutes ago. This dude called UFO says, "I feel more depressed when I'm present." Romania be like. Now the thing is about being present is when you aren't present, you're usually drowning yourself out with like instant gratification. So you have all these tabs open in your brain that are never being closed. That's why it's like taxing your RAM. If you have like 20, 30 tabs open, your RAM is going to be taxed. And when you get out of like being distracted and completely like out of it, and you go back to your desktop, your RAM is being taxed. So you need to close all those tabs when being mindful, and you need to really tackle these problems before being present starts to feel better. Because if you have all these like root causes, childhood issues in your brain, it's going to be hard to really like be okay with the present moment because you're living in the past. You feel me? So you need to like recover and then you'll be able to be happy in the present moment. But start journaling. What? We started at 11, right? We'll close it soon.
Yeah.
Hmm. Meditating is like restarting your PC then. Yeah, pretty much. And deep journaling, for sure. Yo, syntax. Thoughts on straps for rows and deadlifts? Or are we going raw? The thing is about straps is like, see, I'm actually like consulting a really advanced like trainee. He's been training for like 20 years on the matter. So I don't have like the direct answer, but right now I'm thinking that if you're going to be using straps for most of your exercises, you should be using, or you should be doing forearm exercises on the side. You should be doing um, farmer's walks for your crushing strength, dead hangs as well for that, forearm wrist flexions, extensions, and then if you want to go overkill, reverse bicep curls for your brachioradialis. But I recommend not using straps for rows because that's like your only thing that you're not pulling. Like deadlifts, you're pulling at 300 pounds. It's kind of hard to hold the bar with your grip in that case. So using straps is reasonable. Same thing with RDLs. If you're holding 300 pounds in the air, it's really hard to hold. So using straps is okay, and I even encourage it. But I don't recommend using straps for every single movement, especially not for your warm ups or something like a row where you can actually hold the weight. Because like for me, I'm doing like around 135 on my rows for like sets, so I can hold the bar. I can hold 135 for quite some time, so I don't have to use straps in that exercise. But for deadlifts, like even doing just like one rep at deadlifts, like usually your grip fatigue is directly correlated with your CNS fatigue, and deadlifts tax the CNS quite significantly. So that on top of the fact that you're holding that much weight, your grip goes very fast. So yeah. Ugh. Me right now. What the fuck are straps? Yo.
Are they like boxing wraps? Or
No. So
something?
basically, it's like a loop that you can keep on your wrist, and the loop has a string, or not like a string, but it's like think of like a strap.
Oh, okay.
Just think of a string. It's kind of like a string. It's gonna be on your wrist, and the string is gonna point up towards your thumb. You're gonna hold the bar, and you're gonna put the string underneath the bar and wrap it across the bar, and then you're gonna like think of throttling a motorcycle. It'll tighten the wraps around your wrist, so it takes the emphasis, which would normally be on your forearms, and places it like on your wrist, so that it basically just takes your forearm out of the equation. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions? Cause wrap it up right now. Okay. Yeah, the lecture's still going. It's gonna be a long ass edit for me, bro. I actually wanted to edit this one, but I'm gonna be doing something like I have the main lecture posted with like the whatever edits, like whatever, and then I'm gonna try to split it up into like groups. So like for example, I'm gonna take every single time someone asks a question, I'm gonna use that as a YouTube Shorts opportunity, and I'm gonna use that for TikTok because I wanted to get into TikTok because of the algorithm. It's blessed over there. Try to blow up over there. Get them out exactly. So I'll just post the questions over there as well. And yeah. You use pre-workout? Hell no. I'm very against pre-workout, bro. I'm very against it. I already answered why previously, but just to summarize, it's just like you shouldn't be relying on a stimulant just to get your performance up. Because if you have to rely on caffeine just to work out, there's something wrong with you. It's like you should be able to go into your workout and do the entire thing without pre-workout. It's like needing like a drug to do something. If you want like a full video on it, natural hypertrophy posted like a 1 to 2 hour long video, I don't even remember, about how to curb your stimulant addiction, and a lot of the claims he has echoes what I believe. What do you think about pump pre-workout? I have no damn clue what that is. I assume it just increases your pump, but you shouldn't be training for a pump. That's just, yeah. my calorie deficit is pretty high right now, so I have like no energy. So I use pre for legs. Just don't rely on it. Honestly, if you shouldn't be like in like a 1,000 calorie deficit either to the point where you're feeling like shit and you can't train. So yeah, coffee and some pre-workout drinks make me numb. Damn, that's tough. I mean I drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning. That's kind of it for my caffeine intake, but heavy squats wipe me, bro. I feel you, bro, but the struggle of squats makes you a man. Should I be encouraging everyone around me to get into self-improvement? Yes, at the start, but if they like stop trying to, like, if you tell them once about it and then they like never follow through with like going through it, or they just don't care, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink the water. Feel me? You took a raw spoon of coffee. What the fuck?
Bruh.
That's wild. Like, I've never heard of that before. That's interesting. Man with the J. Cole background. I fuck with that. Lewis Street. Climb back. Shit. What supplements should you take? Supplements, you should dry scooping coffee. uh supplements for a teenager. It doesn't really matter. Like, supplements you can get through your diet, but something like vitamin D if you don't go outside is good. A multi, just in case you're missing something, is decent. And then fish oil, because fish is expensive. Those are my top 3 picks. Everything else is kind of like, it's okay to have, but it's like, it is what it is. Good diet is the best supplement. Bars. Everything you get from supplements, you can get through your diet. Vitamin C for pigeonholing fruits. Creatine can also be aight, but it's not even required. No, honestly, vitamin D and fish oil are probably like the top 2 for me. Nothing really comes close to that. You either like foods or a liar. Facts? That's crazy, bro. Yeah. Any other fitness questions or just general self-improvement shit? Or I think I might end this right here. Do you like raisins? Yeah, raisins aren't that bad. Rice scoop and grinded chicken bones for creatine. Wow. That's crazy. That's some king shit. Raisins are not that bad, bro. They're not my favorite, but like, they're not bad. I drink Volman's milk. I don't know what the fuck that is. Is this counterintuitive to my diet? Sometimes I just have a large craving for milk. What the fuck? I don't know about that, bro. You have a craving for milk after your workout. Sometimes I drink half a gallon. What the fuck?
Yo.
Boy, you know it, boy. What the fuck?
Yo, he's like me, man. I haven't, bro. No, but more so, my thing's like fucking cereal. It's horrible. Like, you just wanna like stop relying on like having like stuff like meals that like incorporate milk. So like switch it up. Like, just start like having for breakfast, especially start like having eggs and toast. Like, transition to that, and you're eventually not gonna be as reliant on it.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah.
To chill with the fucking half a gallon of milk. That is crazy, bro. I think I remember someone asking about how to break a stall or something. What is stalling actually? stalling like in the gym is just like for example, if you're deadlifting, like I had this stall where I think I was doing 235, and I could never get 543 on my progression scheme, which would allow me to like get to the next rep range because I was doing a 2 to 5, so I usually like to get to 543 or like 544, something like that, to progress. And it took me like I literally just could not progress. Like it was like 3-4 weeks before I could, or before I started realizing that I should probably change something. That I realized I was stalling. Now the way you break stalls is either it's usually a flaw with your progression scheme or you're progressing too fast, but usually you're gonna want to drop back the weight 10 to 15% and start building your way back up to the actual thing. And then if that doesn't work, you should probably, it's either that or there's a lot of things. It can be that you're still in a novice program where you should be intermediate, so there could be a volume issue, or you need to change out the variation and swap it. Sorry, what are stalls again? Just like plateaus when training. You pull sumo or conventional. I pull sumo, but I mean, if we're counting stiff leg deadlifts, you can't really do them sumo. So I do SLDLs on conventional. Ass.
That's hard, man. Yo, as someone who's gotten a face full of tits before, bro,
Yeah,
you know,
that's crazy.
that's a tough one, bro. Yeah. I'll go with tits, yeah.
Damn. I'm up. Saying backside. Is that it for today? Next week is gonna be crazy though. I'm gonna have or maybe the week after because it might take a while to plan out. But I'm gonna be either hosting it on Twitch or in the voice chat so that I could stream my screen. Because obviously on this we can't show the screen, but yeah, it's gonna be on dopamine, and I'm gonna have like a whole slideshow. I'm gonna have research from a book, two books actually. One Dopamine Nation, and then the other book is called The Molecule of More. I'm gonna be talking about habits. I'm gonna be talking about addiction. Yo, that one's gonna be fire. It might take even longer to put everything together since I was doing a school assignment. Yo, actually, that lecture might be in the future, like a month later, because shit is gonna be huge. I'll try to do it as fast as possible, but school's kind of tough to balance with doing this stuff. But I'll let you guys know when that's coming out. It's gonna be a fucking banger. Yo, syntax, while you're reading chat, check DMs when you can. I'll read them right now, bro. Let's see. Tomorrow at 12:30. Okay. Yep, I can post that for you in a bit when the lecture's over. But boys, Ibra is gonna be hosting a lecture about moving out of your parents' house, and he's also pretty young, so you relate to him a lot better. But that shit, I already know it's gonna slap because Ibra's a G. I'll fuck with that boy. Better tap in. You're 18 is young, bro. Don't start with that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that shit's gonna slap. Boys, tap in tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. EST for that lecture. Older than you. Yes, but you're still young. I don't want to end it because I like doing these, but I think we should end it. Someone start asking questions so I don't have to leave. 18 is old for this server. No, honestly, 17 is like the average age from what I've seen, and like 18 is kind of like around. 17, 18, 19, that area is kind of like average. How do you get a better pump? Don't focus on getting a pump. There's literally, you don't get any extra gains out of getting, like, focusing on the pump or anything. It's like, the pump is like a byproduct that's like nice to have and it makes you feel good, but it's not netting you more significant gains, if you know what I mean. Should I start wearing belts? Also, fuck the pump. Yeah, fuck the pump. It depends. For belt, like I'd say, don't. Okay, it's obviously the same thing with like don't rely on straps. Don't rely on lifting gear in general to like only be able to lift weight. If it's on like the end of your heavy set, like or you're trying to PR or something, that's more reasonable. But like you still want to be able to use a belt to brace or not have a belt just so that you can brace your core. You still want to be able to do that without a belt. Obviously, belt will help a lot too, but basically, if you are approaching a top set or you have like a PR, it's reasonable to use a belt. Favorite music genre? Funk for me. It's crazy. I like hip hop, rap. Pump is important on some isolations. No, not really. Pump training is kind of if you're focused. Okay, I'm actually doing a whole ass research paper on varying levels of blood flow and how it impacts hypertrophy. I haven't done much research yet, but it's not something you should focus on.
Wait, what's a pump, man? I keep on. Isn't that when like the person's hand like gets all like veiny and
No,
stuff?
no, no. You know, like
That's
when you say example, you do bicep curls and your muscle gets bigger.
yeah.
That's the pump. It's basically just having increased
Oh
blood
yeah.
flow to this specific muscle. How long
I
before
yeah.
calorie deficit starts showing results in the gym? I like to go by the 3 month rule, but if you're not seeing any like weight loss or anything, start tracking your calories and obviously reduce calories by X amount or like 200 ish by when. Bro, why can't I speak, bro? Reduce calories by like 200 to 300 every time you wanna reduce calories after you see a plateau in your weight loss. Ah, it's tough, bro. I can't read. Yeah, I've been lifting raw for a while. I was wondering what lifting gear does. Yeah, no. Eventually, you're gonna need like straps for deadlifts and RDLs. It's like a given. But tap out as much gain as you can raw before you hop on gear. Not real gear, but like lifting gear. Lifting gear. I mean, it kind of if you're using like a squat suit or something, it changes the movement pattern completely. Or a bench suit completely changes movement patterns. But straps and belts are reasonable. I wouldn't go much more above just straps and belt, to be honest. Maybe knee straps if you got like creaky ass knees like me. How to balance college work and self improvement? That is a tough question. That's tough.
Man, you have to minimize the unnecessary shit. Like I can say for myself, I haven't like I was playing a few like what's it called it like Pokemon games on my fucking PC, and I haven't like touched those in like weeks, dude. 'Cause I said there's no time for it anymore, man. Like it's all like there's the time that I spent doing that, and now that's study time, dude. Like it's hard. So when it comes to self improvement as well, you just have to find like a way to like slide it in. So if you're um like on your phone like just scrolling through social media for extended amount of time, that time could be used to fill in your journal, for example. But you shouldn't aim to like go for very long amounts of time, a long amount of time when it comes to like meditation and stuff. Like you should just try to show up and see how much you can just do. And this also goes for like journaling as well. Like you don't want to make it a chore. You want to fit it in to the point it's not going to be like a detriment to your overall routine. So you just have to like find ways to like fit them in at times where you're not too busy. So let's say the rest time you spend when you get back from college or school or university, that's when you can like slide in
Mm.
a few of your habits, and you can just like tick off the learning box from stuff you learn through your classes or course.
Facts. Also, prioritize like the more important work. Don't like, if I know college has a lot of extra work. Try to work as efficiently as possible and not do like the bullshit stuff that you don't need to do. Work efficiently. There's this video on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen it. I don't know if you watched the full thing. Work smarter, not harder. That. Also, make sure you use your time effectively in the gym.
Yeah, and try not to get to the point of like burnout. Like I said this earlier before. Like I was trying to like fit in like crazy everything, like
Yeah.
the evening workout, the morning run. Like I literally didn't have breaks. Like I said it before. Like I go for a run at 5:30 in the
Mm.
morning. I get back then, so you speed run your breakfast and speed run like taking a shower and stuff, and then it's like you hop on the bus to university, and then like all your mind is like mentally drained and you're physically drained, and it's like when it comes to like taking information during like lectures and stuff, like you're just not like you're not up for it. So you might have to like make sacrifices and cut out some stuff. Like I said, like over I for me, if specifically, I said I'm not gonna do evening workouts sometimes, and or like I'm gonna opt to do a run instead. Like just one of the two is good enough for me. Like because I just don't have as much time as I'd want. But if it's like some downtime, like the weekend or a holiday, then definitely you can go back to trying to fit everything in uh, at those times.
Mm. So wise, Victory.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm even wise, dude. Like I don't know all the stuff about like stoicism and all
Neither
the
do I.
gym lad stuff. Like I'm just like
Mm.
clueless on all of that, but it's just like experience.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've learned a lot in like the past ever like just like a few months before COVID, and then going through to like now, and then it's like yeah, I feel like I've just like leveled up, like joining communities for self improvement. I was just like before, like me 2 years ago or like 3 years ago, I was just like you'd walk up to me, I'd just be like that awkward kid
Mm.
who just didn't know what he was doing. But like now, and I feel like like self improvement is like a part of my identity and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, it's gone great.
I mean, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. Like, I have no idea about finances. I'm actually like the stupidest person in finances, and, like stocks and whatnot, compared to a lot of the people here. But my fitness game and like general self improvement stuff is pretty good in my opinion. Although there's still a lot more that I need to learn. So we all have our like strengths and weaknesses that we all benefit off of. Blood flow restricted training is only good for advanced lifters because yeah, you don't need to do that when you're intermediate or beginner, even intermediate. Mm. Ah. Yeah, honestly, the squat pad is like so useless. Like, why would you use it? Just like don't have traps to put the bar on. Like, just, come on, builds that. I don't think it actually. It obviously doesn't build muscle, but builds some resilience. It's like using a hook grip on deadlift. At start, it's gonna feel like fucking ass, but eventually it's gonna stop hurting. Adapt, overcome something. All right, I am going to call it here. I'm gonna try to edit it as fast as possible, but I think it's probably gonna come out by tomorrow because I also need to make a thumbnail. I should want to like run this thumbnail by you guys. Shit, I can't even. Okay, well, for any of the call members, I'm gonna share my screen and show you the thumbnail after the lecture is over. But I appreciate you guys for joining, and hopefully I answered a lot of you guys' questions and helped you out. But this is all for today's lecture. Take care, boys.